sorry, ProArc, your diamond sponsorship went to Barry because that was amazing. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good afternoon. So they purposely serve turkey and gravy and God knows what else to put you to sleep for this. So if you're not off, I'm not going to take offense to it. That's totally cool. As Barry said, my name is Paul Robinson, and I took a stab in the dark on this presentation. If you're looking for malware, if you're looking for 10.10. You're not going to get it here. There's some great presentations. Again, I'm not going to be offended if you walk out. But what's October in cybersecurity? Can anybody let me know? Great, it's Cybersecurity Awareness Month again, wonderful. So don't click on this, put up your posters, November 1st, let's go back to what it is that we have to do, right? Is that Cybersecurity Month? Thank you. But from an awareness perspective, there's been something that's been gnawing on me for about 8 to 9 months right now. And from a cybersecurity awareness perspective, it's the mental health crisis that we have in cybersecurity. And I know that's an audacious statement to make that we have a crisis, but we do. We do. We have a crisis in our area. You know, the movie Margin Call. Anybody see the movie Margin Call? Yeah. So there's a scene in Margin Call where they're sitting around a table and a crisis is broken out, the company's about to go under, and the CEO says, oh, so this is like when we're playing musical chairs and everybody's looking for a chair and the music stopped and nobody has a chair to sit in. The guy said, no, I'm gonna recreate that analogy for you. The music is slowing. If it were to stop, it would be a catastrophe. And right now, I think where we are with mental health in cybersecurity is the music is slowing. Because every time I bring this subject up to people, like, yeah, I think there is a problem, then the conversation stops. Like, no, we can't talk about that. There's nothing wrong with me, you know, whatever. And so from the pages of It Takes One to Know One, like, I have mental health stuff. I'm not ashamed to say that. You know, I struggle with anxiety. You know, it's like my kryptonite, my superpower. It's like, yeah, I'm anxious. I'm always going, but it has some negative drawbacks to it. And I want to, like, set the stage with that. Like, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not, you know, please, the views in it, you know, that I express here, please do not go out and do it, or, you know, because I'm not getting sued. But I want to start off by saying, you know, hey, it's something that I struggle with too. And there's a lot of care and concern that I have for the Rochester security community. I look out here, you guys have become like family to me. Like I just see some faces right now, and, you know, we become really, really good friends, and really, really enjoy the relationship we have. And I care enough about the community to take some time out to kind of bring some of my thoughts to the table and see what we want to talk about. This is not moving. Next slide. Oh wait, hold on. There we go. Okay, so let's go to work. When I do talks, I want there to be goals and objectives. I could totally go off the rails on these things, and I'm sure you've been in presentations, maybe even today, where they go off the rails. I kind of want to make sure that I keep myself on topic and making sure that I'm giving you the best content possible. So I want to define what mental health means, what in cybersecurity triggers mental health specific to our industry, what are the risks of not addressing these issues, and practical ways of eradicating these threats. So I did not make the decision until I walked up the stage if I was going to show this video or not. I'm not going to show it. It is a very deeply emotional, quasi-disturbing video. But basically what this is here, these two guys will go to soccer matches together. They had season tickets for some soccer club. And the guy on the left is like this curmudgeon. Like, everybody's standing and cheering. He's like this. The guy on the right's like going crazy. He's like, yeah. And one of the last times that they got together, the guy was like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And the commercial ends with the guy on the left, the curmudgeon, putting a jersey on his seat because the guy on the right committed suicide. And, you know, we wear a lot of masks in cyber, and I thought it was a very, very poignant thing. I'm actually dedicating this presentation to a gentleman. I won't mention his name. I don't have permission to, but we've had suicide in our Rochester cybersecurity community. I don't know if you've known that, but a few years ago, a gentleman who, he actually got on me. Like, I'm from New York City. I'm your quintessential miserable New York City guy. He'd always get on me. He's like, oh, come on, you got to laugh, whatever. And unfortunately, he committed suicide, leaving behind a wife and 2 kids. And that really stuck. That really struck with me. So this presentation, I have him in my thoughts as I'm presenting it, because I'm like, oh man, what could I have said? What could I have done? Like what could I do here? So it's real. It's definitely real. Okay. So 2 things. One is my slides are boring. You don't even have to look at it. 2, it wouldn't be a true cybersecurity presentation if I didn't follow something. So I used the NIST CSF to kind of break this down. It's creative, stupid, whatever you want to call it, but we'll call that. So what is mental health? What is mental health, and what is it in cybersecurity? So any first responders here, or people that were first responders? Okay. Don't get angry at me, and I will bring this down, this analogy down, but I like to make sure that I identify that. Cybersecurity professionals live a first responder life. Now, I get it. You're not going into burning buildings. You're not, wearing a bulletproof vest and going into a dangerous neighborhood and getting shot or something like that. But think about it. 24/7, 365, something can happen. Something can go wrong. Cortisol levels are up. Adrenaline levels are up. You ever get a call at 10:30 at night and wonder what the call is about from work? I mean, it's very stressful. It's a very, very stressful thing, and there's a lot of first responder activities that are around with it. You could get that call at 3:30 in the morning. Hey, someone broke in. You have to come in immediately. You could be on vacation. You have to do that. Everybody here for Alan's talk this morning, which was phenomenal. But Alan was going through all the things that he was dealing with, with law enforcement and his company, and having the fear of being fired or let go. Just a tremendous story. That is the pressure that we as cybersecurity people deal with, and it's very stressful. It's a thankless job for maximum effort. Nobody is slapping 5 with you in the hallway saying, hey, I heard you stopped this 0-day from pick a country, and if that 0-day were to come through, then the company could have went down and we could have lost our company and our jobs. Like, you don't get that. And I don't think that's an ego thing. I think that's a human thing. You want to be recognized for the great work that you're doing. And it's very hard for people to understand that because, again, going back to the first responder piece of it, you're not wearing a fire coat. You're not wearing a bulletproof vest. It's a white-collar job. And people think, oh, well, I brought my mom and my dad and my wife here today. It's sometimes hard to explain to them what I do for a living, but I'm behind the computer pretty much a lot of the day. And all people see is, oh, you're just behind a computer, or oh, you're just reading through papers. It's like, no, this is some really serious stuff, and people are not recognizing that, and that's a stress on people. And then external factors can impact us as well. I have a family. I know many people here have families. Saying that you can leave your job at the front door in cybersecurity is a no-no. You can't. Am I right? Like, please, if I'm wrong, no shame in that, but we can debate it a little bit later, but you cannot leave this job at the door. It comes with you. It really is painful. I have a story of where one of my children was in a life and death situation, like literal life and death situation, and I got a call about an incident. How do you balance that? How do you balance that? How do you balance your baby and the job that you hold dear and that you want? Like, it's really hard. I've had, again, New York City, I don't do emotions. I had a CISO cry on my shoulder because of an incident. It was the most uncomfortable thing in my professional career to have him, and a 6'4" big guy, like, on my shoulders crying because he was just horrified about what had just happened. These are real emotions that we have. We're not robotic. We're not, we're not inhumane. We're human beings. And, I don't know how many times you've heard the word AI today. I hate AI. I really do. But, AI is never going to take over the jobs that we do. It won't. It's just not going to do it. And I don't care what they say out there about it. We have a vulnerability problem, and the title is Zero-Day Threat, to where we need to make sure as cybersecurity professionals that we are healthy and that we are at our best to do the best job possible that we can do. And if we're not, get the help. Okay, how do we detect that there's a problem? So I have these 5 questions that I have here. I'm going to read it out. And I would really encourage each and every one of you to kind of ponder them after the conference, or if you're at the happy hour and the happy hour is terrible, take these out and read them over. But here are the 5 questions. How am I feeling right now? Like right now in this second, how am I feeling? Am I anxious? Am I upset? Am I happy? And really take a self-evaluation of how you're feeling as a person. Am I enjoying cyber? This is a very deep topic, but I love cybersecurity. I love it. You guys and gals should be so proud of the work that you're doing in cyber. You won't hear this from your companies, many of you don't, but I will tell you, the work that everybody is doing here is hero work. It's definitely hero work. You guys are doing an amazing job of doing it. But you could get so burnt out that you hate it, that you absolutely hate it, that you get in your car or you open up the door to your home office, you're like, why am I doing this? This is the dumbest thing. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Are my daily habits being impacted? Daily habits meaning, hey, am I conversing with my family correctly, and going back to my mental health things, like I will let the weight of the world fall on my shoulder from a cyber, and I'll be a jerk. Like, I will be a jerk. I'll be like, whatever. Again, New York City. But I will kind of phase out, and the normal things that you're supposed to take care of every day, I just don't do that. How is my daily stuff working? Do I feel hopeless in my job? It's an important question. You face tremendous adversity at your job. It really is a tough job because nobody wants to talk to you unless something's broken, and then it's your fault. Going back to the first responder thing, if I'm out in the garage and I'm deep frying a turkey and I do what I do best, make a mess, and spill oil all over, and it sets my garage on fire, the fireman comes, and I blame the fireman. It's your fault. You should have told me. Like, that's kind of the life that we're leading right now, of where, we don't hear anything until it's broken. And that's a really hard thing. That's a hopeless feeling. Or if we're trying to get budget, or we're trying to get headcount, or we're trying to ward off vendors or things like that, like, it could be a real hopeless feeling. Like, do I feel hopeless right now? Do I feel like there's nothing that can satisfy me in my job? And then fear and anger. I heard a really good analogy from my business mentor on Tuesday. He said I could steal it. But it's like we're in Vietnam. And my dad's a Vietnam vet, so this is in no way disrespectful to him or to the war and to the servicemen and women. But in Vietnam, you're walking through the jungles and you know that there's a clear and present threat, but you can't see it. You know it's there, but you can't see it. And so it's this constant fear that we're in. Constant fear, constant agitation that we know something can happen. How many people here have security products in their rack and in their clouds? I find it very ironic that we have 7-8 figures worth of tools and technology. This isn't slamming the vendors, but we have 7 to 8 figures worth of technology in our environments, yet we're still in fear. It's a little bizarre. And really, it's just one of those things that we don't take a step back to pause. It's like, I have all this stuff. Why am I still in fear? Why can't I sleep at night? Which I hate that. Is anybody with me? Do they hate that? People say, oh, what keeps you up at night? I go to sleep, bro. Like, I'm tired. Like we go to sleep. We definitely go to sleep at night, but we know that we could get that call at 3 a.m. Why am I afraid when I'm spending all this money and resources on something? It really is tough. So those are the questions that I would ask you to ponder and to think about. Maybe it's time to leave cyber. I've had to wrestle with this question before. I probably will have to wrestle with it again. maybe it's time to just go. Like I came back from a talk last week, and I stopped off at the rest stop, Jonas Point rest stop. If you're from Rochester, you know that. And I looked at these 18-wheelers, and I was like, what an amazing job. Like, how do I apply? You mean I get to just sit here and drive and not talk to anybody and, like, stop off and get Chick-fil-A 5 times a week? Like, heck, let's do it. Let's do it up. Let's do it right, you know? And all jokes aside, maybe it's the end of the line for this. We have very smart, capable people here that maybe you need to reinvent yourself and get out of the industry altogether. Ooh, sorry about that. Okay, how do we protect our mental health? Community. Community is everything. We have one of the strongest cybersecurity communities in the country. There are people that are here from Boston. There are people here from Manhattan. There are people here from all over the place because they love the community that we have here. And guess who has a really good community? The adversaries. Think about the hundreds of thousands of chats that are out there in the dark web where everybody where they're talking and they're collaborating. Oh, you were able to blow past, I won't say a vendor, but you were able to blow past them? Great. Can you tell me how he did that? Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'll tell you how to do that. And they're supporting each other, and they're building each other up, and they're like, yeah, let's get them, let's get them, let's get them. As great as our cybersecurity community is here in Rochester, we can get a whole lot better at it. We can get a whole lot better at it. And I think there are different tiers to the community. I think that there's a tier of, something like this where we're getting together. And I think, I don't think there's anything wrong with vetting out key people that you can build a smaller community with. I shared about my mental health stuff. I'm pretty much an open book with a lot of things, but I know some people aren't. But I would definitely encourage you to use this time, maybe meet somebody new, build a rapport, build trust, and where you can call them and say, my CEO won't give me budget for this. And the other person say, oh yeah, I know how that goes. Let me help you out. Or, oh my goodness, my kid has a soccer game and I can't make it because we're doing a changeover on the cloud today. I can't make it. Oh yeah, I've done that before. Let me tell you how I worked through it. So the community piece of it is huge. And at the end, I'll kind of talk about ways that we can build that community. A commitment to yourself. We live in this really weird world where the word discipline is like a bad word, and it's not. Building discipline really strengthens us as professionals, especially in cybersecurity. And they're the gurus out there. There's a Motiversity out there. There's oh yeah, just take a cold plunge at 3:30 and your life will get better. It's like, come on, like we've been doing that. We do that every year for 6 months. It's freezing out. It doesn't have to be 3:30 in the morning. But really start to identify the things in your life that you can just have as habits. Like for me, it's getting up at 6 and going to the Y with the silver sneakers. Like, don't let that impress you because you don't want to hear my brain going at 5:58 about to step in there and to get sweaty and sore and whatever. And then to hear the silver sneakers say, oh yeah, you're in cybersecurity, right? What's this? Yeah, I'm like, oh gosh. But it's become a ritual. It's become a ritual for me to say, hey, I'm going to prioritize my health. I'm going to prioritize my well-being, not only for me, but for our families as well. Again, we have people that are relying on us outside of the cybersecurity piece, people that are more important to us than cybersecurity, and it's making sure that we're taking care of ourselves. Rest. Rest is making sure, I know you can't leave it at the door. I know you can't. But we got to get stronger as a community to be able to say no. We do. The story that Alan told today of the CEO on the beach in Brazil getting a call, and that really should be our response. I'm on vacation. Like, I can't. It's taking that rest. It's taking that time for yourself. It's leaving everything, behind and taking a walk or going out with your family and kids. And again, this is not me preaching at you. It's preaching at me. I do a terrible job of it. But when I do it, even if it's for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it feels really good to get that rest. And then recreation. Guys, we gotta have fun. We gotta have fun. And trust me, this is my 15th Rochester Security Summit. We can have fun. We can have fun. I'm looking at a couple people. We can have fun. But, yeah, exactly. I love it. But really prioritize that recreation. Prioritize just being able to enjoy our beautiful city for the 6 months that it's actually a beautiful city and not an igloo. Get out, enjoy life, enjoy our families, enjoy our friends, and really prioritize that stuff for us. Okay. If I have an issue, what do I do? Get help. It's really that simple. You get help. And there are different ways to get that help. The first way is, this is an interesting concept, but I would be bold and I tell your superiors, your CEOs, your CFOs, hey, I'm struggling. I need help. I need real help. And if they're not willing to help you, get on Indeed. It's that simple. It's really, it's not that simple. I apologize. It's not. But that speaks volumes to the fact that if your senior leadership cannot associate with you, take into consideration that you're struggling from a mental health perspective, there's something deeper that's going on there that isn't the greatest thing. Mental health services. I've been seeing a therapist consistently since 2016. It's great. It's great. I get to talk crap about all of you people. I get to talk crap about, and I still get the work. No, I'm just kidding. But it's okay. It really is okay to talk to somebody professionally that can help you, that can give you tips. Again, this year, from a mental health perspective, has been absolutely insane because at 47, and this is, I'm so ashamed. I was so ashamed of it, and then I worked through it. But I'm like, at 47, why am I realizing these simple concepts that I'm getting from the therapist? Why am I learning now that it's okay to say no? Why am I learning now that it's okay to prioritize myself? Why is it okay now to not let people just roll all over me and tell me what to do and whatnot? Like, why am I And my therapist gave me the best answer. He said, some people go through their whole lives not figuring that out. And so there's hope. There is hope. And so those services are really good. And again, build a coalition. I have built this coalition has saved my life. Like, no joke, has absolutely saved my life, of people outside and inside the industry. I have 3 friends that I call the Ford Street Bridge Boys, because I know if I was on top of the Ford Street Bridge, those would be the 3 that would come and talk me off of it. I have people in cybersecurity that I have very close conversations with about family, about myself personally, about business that I can talk to. And then I have like a bigger group. But build this coalition of people that are for you. We don't feel that a lot in cybersecurity. We really don't. We're metrics-driven people. We got some vendors in here as well. Metrics-driven people. Hey, you did great at Q3. Hey, let's throw a party for you and give you a $50 Amazon gift card. Hey, you sucked at Q4. Goodbye. Hey, we haven't had an attack in the last 12 months. Month 13, something happens. Hey, you're a jerk. Get out of here. Like, we work in this environment that is so driven by metrics, so driven by perfection. And to be in cybersecurity, being a perfectionist is, again, one of our kryptonites and one of our superpowers. It's an impossible thing to be perfect at and whatever. I had a lady that I knew that was offered the job of CISO at Southwest Airlines. Massive package, seven-figure package, amazing. Iranian woman, just a great story. And she sent the employee contract to her lawyer, and her lawyer called her within 5 minutes and said, hey, you might want to read this line. And the line said, any litigation against Southwest Airlines pertaining to a cyber attack or legally determined breach, any cost for legal will fall on the shoulders of the CISO. True as anything. And she called them up, and she was like, I can't take the job. And I'm like, what? You're a woman. You're a minority woman. Like, why would you not want to be the CISO of Southwest Airlines? It's like, because you'd have to give me 8 figures for the litigation costs that would cost. And you basically want me to be in charge of 125,000 people, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. She's like, I can't do that. No one can do that. And so I say that story because it's important to understand that you need that coalition of people that say, yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. No, you're not an idiot for passing up a 7-figure package. You want to talk about, not sleeping? She might not have been able to sleep. I know. Could you imagine being in charge of 125,000 people, and then when one of them screws up, then it's your cost on your dime to pay the litigation fees? It's insanity. It's absolutely insanity. So those are the things that I would say for all of us to do. Bill, when we have an issue, what do we do? How do I come back stronger? Like I said, this year personally for me has been really, really difficult. I've had to unpack a lot of different things in my life. And there was a low point. There was an absolute low point where I was taking a walk around my block. I'm like, I don't know how I come back from this. I really don't know how I come back from this. And how we come back stronger is step by step. We have had many folks in our industry that have struggled with health issues, of mental health issues, addictions, suicide, divorce, like all this stuff, and it's very daunting to come back from. And it's hard to come back from it in cybersecurity as well, because again, that perfection thing is real. You have to be right 100% of the time. I hate that. You've heard me take a couple of digs at stupid phrases that we have here. Attacker only needs to be right once, and you need to be right all the time. Okay, thanks. Thanks for making me feel better. This is really, really nice of you. But it really comes down to the fact of taking it step by step. You can come back. You can come back. We have a strong human spirit about us. We have a strong human resiliency about us. Resiliency, one of the core tenets in our cybersecurity vernacular. You can come back from it. You can, and you can come back stronger. And it's okay. It's okay to hit rock bottom. Like, I look back on that walk that I took, and I'm like, that's the best thing that's ever happened to me. It's the best thing that's ever happened. It's painful. It hurt. It was hard. I didn't cry. New York City, but it was a solemn time. And to be up here is a miracle, because I didn't expect this. Like, I'm like, yeah, I might be a truck driver. Like, I don't know. Like, this is kind of crazy. But really what it comes down to is if you're at that rock bottom point, get the help that you need and know that you can come back. If I can, you can. So resources. So I've thrown all this stuff at you. I'm giving you concepts. Hopefully it's resonated with some of you. But now what do we do? Now what do we do? Like, again, we have this conversation a lot in this industry, but it's just like, oh, okay, like, that's great to know. Yeah, I am struggling. Yeah, I'm depressed. But what do we do? So here are some things. So we have a independent from any vendor or anything like that. We have a coffee every third Thursday at 8 a.m. David, who spoke, is in it. Dennis, Milt's here. And it's a small group of us, and we just get together and we just talk. And some days we talk in the weeds about cybersecurity, and we geek out, and like people that are sitting at Boulder Coffee are looking at us like we're terrorists or something like that. Like, it's actually kind of funny. But we talk and we get together, and it doesn't have to be our coffee. Maybe it's just finding a couple of people that you know in the industry and getting together and having a consistent cadence of meeting with each other and making it important, making it an important thing. There's some days I don't want to go to coffee. Some days I don't want to go, but I go because I prioritize it. The other thing is, so what I do, in case you didn't know, is I'm an independent cybersecurity consultant. Like, I've been able to work with many people over the years. I just wanted to break off on my own and be able to give talks like this and kind of do whatever. But it's just me, it's not we, but I'm working with other people. I'm gonna be working on doing some workshops for people, whether it be individually or corporate, where, we're not plugging anything in, it's not a POC, I'm not taking you to the Bills game, absolutely not. Sorry. But really doing work with companies to get them to understand the impact of mental health and cybersecurity. And even inviting senior leadership. I call it the mother-in-law syndrome, which is a terrible thing to say because my mother-in-law is coming in to visit this weekend, and this is recorded, so wonderful, I don't have to deal with that. But it's like if my mother-in-law says something, my wife, God bless her, love her, she says it, she's listening. Me, yeah, whatever, but rightfully so. But even having these meetings with senior leadership to say, hey, this is not someone that you're paying, because that's a persona that we get. Oh, I'm paying this guy or this gal hundreds of thousands of dollars, and all they're doing is just sitting there on the computer and going to conferences, and I don't understand it. It's like, yeah, but you need someone to come in and talk to them and say, hey, this is really what they're dealing with. This is the kind of stuff that we're dealing with. And really, I think it's a top-down problem. I really think when senior leadership gets it, then we're at a crossroads. Either they're gonna get it and they're gonna say, yeah, like when you're on vacation, be on vacation. Like, we'll make it, we'll survive. Or, a whole bunch of different scenarios that are out there, and pushing that down because we're understaffed. I was talking to a guy the other day, a large organization. He has 18 FTE on staff for cybersecurity. I know 90% of the people hear me say that and are like, can I go work there? 18? That's amazing. They ran a Monte Carlo scenario on really the amount of people that they should have, 38 minimum. So you have the people doing a job of 38 people that are 18. Do the math. They're gonna stress out. Do the math, they're gonna stress out. They're gonna burn out, they're gonna leave. And so, that's one of those that's a very important thing to do. So it's having these conversations, it's having whatever. Barry, you were so kind in what you said. Like, I'm here, guys. Find me on LinkedIn. You'll see me out there running around, talking to people. That's really one of the reasons why I started the practice that I did, was because I saw the need for people to have organic, authentic conversations with somebody that wasn't going to judge them for anything. And that's really the premise of what it is that I'm doing. And so, please, I mean it. Just hit me up. I can get you some resources. I can talk to you. And help you along the way. Oh, the one other thing that is impacting mental health, that, along the lines of getting in touch with me, the job market. I want to ask anybody to raise hands, but there are probably people sitting here that don't have a job in cybersecurity. There are people that are sitting here that are like, is today the day? Like, is today the day they walk me out? Or is today the day they cut me or clip me? That is a big stressor. I am blessed to know so many amazing people in cybersecurity to help them along the way with that stuff. And, reach out to me for that as well. I won't charge you for that, so you could do it for free. But yeah, that's really that. So again, I just want to end here, and I know the cookie table's coming out, so I wanted to give you a 10-minute head start on that. The cookie table, stop, okay? Like, it. It's coming. It's coming. The cookies and the brownies and the popcorn. I'll give you a head start on that. But I just want to end this by saying there's a lot of care and concern for you from my part. It's one of the reasons why I asked my parents to come in, because I didn't grow up in business. My dad ran a church in Coney Island, Brooklyn. This is pre-Giuliani, wild New York City. And they taught me to care for people. They taught me that, there's not a price. Hey, you got to feed your family, got to take care of your family. There's not a price tag on it. And, my wife is the same way. My wife cares for people like I could never care about. And while it's not innate in me, I have learned from these people. And the same care and concern, they've showed me that I can let my guard down with that. It's the same care and concern that I have for you all here. I want to make sure you know that, okay? Any questions? Any comments? Yes, Rob? Hold on a second. Mom and Dad, Rob is actually a Met fan. So that's why he's not picking on me. I actually almost wore my Mets sweatshirt up here to kind of do it. Yeah. That's painful. That is painful. Oh man, is that painful? Yes.
It's a little tricky since you got your family here, but you're talking about these workshops and things to bring this awareness to non-cyber leaders in an organization.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of advice or recommendations do you have around bringing that same awareness to your family, having them understand?
Great question. Great question. So I actually have a story for that. So my dad, who I'm going to reference, so I'm a child of the 80s, and I'm the lost generation, so Michael Jackson and Pearl Jam are part of my childhood. It's like that weird kind of thing. And when I was a little kid, the Vietnam movies were hot, like Platoon, Hamburger Hill, like all those movies. I remember talking to my dad I was like, Dad, what was it like? Like, what was it like? And he just couldn't answer. Like, he would give the 30,000-foot view level. Like, no, really. He just couldn't answer it. And then we took the honor flight 3 years ago on Father's Day, one of the best experiences of my life. And he got around his Army buddies, and it was incredible. It was like, and just being able to hear that, could never put a price tag on what the value was to say, oh, that was the experience. That was the experience. So I think in explaining it to our families, I think we have to go at their heart, honestly. And this is hard. This is really hard for me. But tell them without, talking about polymorphic malware. Hey, Dad's struggling today. Like, Dad has a lot of weight on his shoulders. Hey, did you know, Mom, that if Mom doesn't go to work today, that the company could shut down and I can lose my job? And maybe even get cybersecurity professionals with you, and then you can start to banter back and forth, like, oh, okay. Like, one of the things my kids laugh at me is like I'm really Jekyll and Hyde with being a dad to them, and like, but you get one of my boys on from New York City on the phone. Oh my gosh, it's just chaos. It's just, and they just like, oh wow, So maybe even having some other cybersecurity folks that come over and they could, oh okay, so that's it. But it's very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult. One of the saddest stories that I've seen in cybersecurity was a mom who was a CIO of a healthcare organization that experienced a cyber attack, and her daughter played soccer from like the minis up through senior year of high school. She missed her daughter's senior high school banquet because she had to be on a call with DHS about the attack. No choices, no questions asked. How do you explain that to a kid? It's hard. It's very, very difficult. Anything else? Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Oh. Oh, that's it. That's it. I just talked about it. Thank you.